So if you're like me and have been playing Persona 5 Strikers non-stop, you might have reached Endgame and is currently working on their New Game Plus playthrough, except on the newly unlocked Merciless mode. However, it doesn't take long to realize that this mode can be pretty punishing, and not having the right personas at the right time can be the difference between you getting to the next checkpoint or reloading the last save, well, assuming you manage to save in between infiltration and your last place of death. But there are ways to make your experience a little better, and to do that, I want to showcase a persona build that I believe to be pretty vital for or early into your Merciless run. But before that, quick disclaimer, I want to tell you that this is a guide for late game and New Game Plus only, so if you're still in your first run, you most likely won't have access to the persona, and therefore must come back when you unlock the right personas to do so. So with that out of the way, the persona that I think is absolutely vital to Merciless difficulty is Alice. Why? While she's no Izanagi no Okami Picaro with a full compendium and myriad truths, her exclusive skill of Spellmaster makes her a vital persona to summon as soon as possible. While she's great at the insta-kill moves, and just my go-to persona for curse skills in general, the fact that she can actually fuse forward to a low-level McCoy makes her the perfect persona to acquire right away, and therefore be a part of any other persona relying on using SP. Which, newsflash, is pretty much anything aside from Seth and Yoshitsune. Because of that fact that she can transfer a trait to McCoy, by understanding the fusion path from McCoy to your desired persona, you can transfer this trait to any persona you want. Now, before I show the path taken to acquire this build, I just want to say that this is just what I found to be most effective, and if you have better builds, I'm all ears. The game's still very new, well, to us who waited for localization, so I'm sure that there will be stupidly overpowered builds to come. On top of that, I also know the ability to abuse Soul Thief and Dormina, or any other ailment inflicting move, but this build is more for bosses where there are really no mobs to abuse, and to be honest, by endgame, you should be sufficient in SP so that Spellmaster will be more than enough to carry you from checkpoint to checkpoint. Basically, in order to obtain Alice, you have to have proceeded far enough into the game where you can have multi-persona fusions and preferably a complete compendium, as you'll need Bugs, Lilith, Nebrios, and Dominion. Now before you fuse, understand that you can only carry a max of 4 skills across the fusion path, meaning that at the end of it all, Alice will still have 4 slots open to skills that she innately knows or will eventually learn. That being said, in this build she innately learns the skills Die For Me, Spellmaster, Mudo Boost, and Concentrate. Then what needs to be acquired is Curse Boost, Curse Amp, and to complement it, Igon, and then the last one can really be up to your discretion. I just picked Dodge Physical as I felt that was the most useful out of all my options. With that said, the least important ingredient in the fusion is Lilith, as she doesn't contain any vital skills, but for the other 3, these are what you need to inherit from them. Nebrios learns Igon innately and will learn Curse Amp at level 58. At the same level, Bugs will also learn Dodge Physical, if that is what you so choose to go with. Acquiring Curse Boost is a tad more complicated, as only after fusing Arahabaki and getting it to level 38 will it acquire Curse Boost, then you have to transfer it over to a Forneus, then finally into a Dominion. After that, just make sure that they are all leveled to at least level 65, then you will have the ability to fuse an Alice that contains these 4 skills. Keep in mind that Spellmaster is her last move and is unlocked at level 90, but beyond that you are good to go. Another thing I do want to point out is that as I was explaining the fusion, I didn't mention what it would be fused with, and that is because in Strikers, the fusion is streamlined, and so if you have one ingredient, then the other will naturally show up, so long as you see the persona you want to fuse on the ingredient list, then assuming you have unlocked the other persona, then you should be good to go. Either way, if you are perhaps lost or want to take a different fusion route, perhaps due to a lack of certain personas, although I don't really know how, you can always use the persona fusion calculator for Strikers, and it goes really in depth as to what you need. One last thing, you can fuse her back into a McCoy, but make sure that it inherits Spellmaster and perhaps anything else you think would be useful across future persona, as it will act as the source of the skill going forward. Well, assuming you don't move it to another base persona. On that note, thanks for watching, hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.